Just had a box show up for the old CB650r. Let's see what's inside. Oh. We got a cafe fairing for it. However, may not fit with these clip-ons. Womp womp. Okay, so this fairing fits the CB1000R and CB650R. Parts list, and then the installation instructions. So it looks like just these two brackets install where the headlight mount goes. So this is the upper headlight mount right here. And then we're gonna install well nuts. So it's a rubber plug with threads in it, and it expands as you're tightening it down. So pretty common for most windshields. So there's a couple of those in there. All the screws. We got all the screws to go through here, and then nickels for the side. Probably won't put those on. So for where the stock handlebars are, this would be fine. It may just involve coming in here and cutting away. This is just ABS plastic. So I may just have to trim a little bit of that, I hope. And then maybe it'll fit okay. We'll find out. The finish is okay on this. It's clearly, you know, plastic. I imagine you could probably paint this up and have it look pretty nice. The thickness is like, it's good and thick. It's not flimsy. It's just, you know, whatever. Straight out of the mold, so it's not the prettiest thing. The windscreen's really nice, so this is still in the bag here, but they make different tints for the windshield. So I got, this is supposed to be medium dark. So they have a really dark, they have an opaque, they have a clear, and a light smoke. So we'll see. All right, so I'm just gonna pop the bolts out. I'm just gonna do one side at a time here. The brackets are marked R and L, whatever that means. So we'll try the L on the left side. Looks like it goes like that with the bolt in it. I'm just gonna put it up loose for now. So we can rotate these a little bit. I think they're just supposed to sit down like that. Looks like the picture. Easy. Now those guys are gonna have to land there. And again, yeah, the cables hit. How bad is it? Oh yeah, this hits there. Okie dokie dokie. Okay, so given how much is gonna have to get trimmed, what I'm thinking is if I can come up along this line and kind of go straight up to this, where this folds over, and then go right up to that point here. And take that chunk out of both sides. I'm gonna measure before I do that. So it has to attach here. And so if this fits over top of the master cylinder, then we're good. So basically just took the grease pen, and that's kind of the line I'm going for. So we're gonna take all of this off. And then on this side, it wasn't as bad. It just needs a little for the clutch perch here and the adjuster. If I do the same thing, like I think that's probably easily repeatable on this side. So if that's all I have to take off and it fits, we'll just make it symmetrical and do the same thing on both sides. I'm actually just gonna pop this off. I took the bracket off camera and let this dangle. Because you know what? If everything else is going to work other than the master, I have other options. So I got a master cylinder from a CBR 1000RR. It sits up there okay. The only thing is I don't think it's gonna get us any closer because it still hits around the pivot. Reservoir is basically under the windshield. Now I can change this bracket, I can bend it, I can make a new one and get the reservoir out of the way. But like, kind of a little bit defeats the purpose of having everything nice and compact in here. So I think we're gonna go put that back on the shelf and just try to make it fit with that. Okay, so I got this on the table here. What I think I'm gonna do is take the cutoff wheel and just undercut this, so leave a gap from where I made my white line, just to get most of the plastic off. A lot of it's gonna melt and then you can kind of snap off the edge of it. And then I'll probably start with 35 grit roll on and clean it up. Okay, so that's just the initial cut there. So we're close to the line, but we're not right on it because I want to leave a little bit of room to be able to clean that up. So I just went and had a look at it again, and this is where the line was that we drew and cut there, and boy, I was way off. I'll show you why. So obviously that's the bracket, that's where the hole has to be. But this is only, 30, 40 millimeters away. Remember what the measurement was that I took? So it's got to come down by about that much. All right, let's go see if that got us any closer. It's mostly the clearance to the master that I'm worried about. And I think once we're on that line, we're gonna be good. We're right about there. Yeah, so let's clean that up right to the line and try to make that bevel not look like a dog chewed it. So we got the 35 grit and the roll off. We're getting there. Still needs a little bit of love, but so again, we'll just go right up to that line. All right, so that's how this side looked from the factory. It was symmetrical both sides. And that's what we got left here. So it actually only took a little bit of sanding to get that pretty smooth there. Just wiped it down with some cleaner and yeah, I'm digging it. So let's go ahead and do the other side for the clutch perch. I don't think it looks bad if it's asymmetrical, to be honest. So for the left side, I think I'm going to take a little bit less of a bite out of it. I can always take more. I can't add it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give it the cutoff wheel, take most of that out, and then I'm going to hit it with the 35 grit and the 3M roll lock. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Just gonna grab the sandpaper and just clean up the edge where it's a little bit wavy. It doesn't really take that much. You can feel it really good with your hand too. Honestly, that feels pretty good like that. Not too shabby. Okay, so I think I got that licked. Just going to put the bottom bracket on. We got the top ones on, and loosely fit this up before I put the windshield on. So I took the screw out of there. I'm just going to put it through this little bracket, reattach it, and then one of the well nuts is going to go through there to attach the bottom of the fairing. Okay, so I got that one on, those ones on, and all I need to do now is put the well nuts in. Here, this guy here, and this one's gonna fit underneath here, like so. So start by putting this one on, and then I can pivot it over to those ones, line them up perfectly, and then tighten everything down. Okay, so I got that tightened down there. We are clear, barely. There. And we're clear here, just barely. The cables are touching, but everything's working fine. The only thing, there seems to be quite a bit of a bigger gap in the top than at the bottom. It fits really nicely around most of it. And I'm not sure if that's because this should be laying back further, but it seems to be on the brackets correctly, so I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, like there's a pretty big gap right above the headlight. Oh, can't really do anything about it. All right, so here's the screen out of the box, and yeah, it's just a light tint. It's actually pretty good, like that. So that's just gonna go on like that. Take the stickers off, be good to go. So same as the other part, we got the well nuts, and we got the windshield screws with the washers on it. Drop one on the floor and lose it forever. Yeah, there it is. All of them started, so then we're gonna tighten them down. And then the reveal. Not bad.